now tuned in to the Always All In podcast with your host, Stefan Catalan. What up, it's your boy, Stefan, with the Always All In podcast. I'm here today, excited. It's the top of the week. We're in holiday season, and right now I just want to take a moment and be grateful to be here, to be alive, to be well, to be healthy, to be breathing, just to have the opportunity to show up today and be always all in. And that's why we're here today. I have value to bring, and I'm going to bring it. And I have the day granted me an opportunity, and here I am. I'm sitting across something near and dear, a friend of mine from all the way back in grade school. I'm looking at him right now, and I just see purity. I see pure love, and I say that with just gratitude, just because it's humbling and it's awesome to see somebody doing what they want to do with their life. And with that, I want to share this time and introduce Derek. Derek is going to just be all in this moment right now, and I know it, and I feel it. Derek, tell them who you are and what you do.
Oh, for sure, man. My name's Lamar Joe. Currently, I work in medical device sales, but I'm also a personal trainer. Yeah. That's been a passion of mine forever. So I'm working that, kind of as a side hustle right now, but it'll soon be my full-time gig. Be doing that. I'm also a pro natural bodybuilder. Yeah. Just won the Natural Olympia for the Classic Physique division. So still kind of riding that high right now a little bit and just letting things soak in during the holiday season winding down at the same time and getting ready for next year.
Yes, man. I was just gonna ask the hard questions. How are you managing right now with holiday season and food and just the transition of it being cold and?
Yeah. Man, you said that. Yeah, the cold weather from one day to the next. Yeah, but yeah, I mean the food. I got to admit, I kind of went on a binge right after the show, but I've been on prep literally all year, right. Almost a full 12 months. So with the 3 shows I did this year, so I kind of just went in on the food a little bit, right. Put on a few extra pounds pretty quick, got that water bloat going. Right. So I'm kind of leveling out now. I still eat pretty clean during the holidays. It's just, when the cakes and sweets start coming,
the temptation.
You allow yourself some of that for the time being. I don't have a show coming up for a while, so, I got a little time.
A little bit of breathing room, a little bit of enjoyment, man.
Absolutely.
That is nice. So what does that look like as far as the mental discipline of like, hey, I have a show coming up, I got to get ready. Man, it's a transition from what you're doing now to what you need to be doing in order to get there. And so I could imagine that you count your food, and what does that look like for somebody listening for the first time that really has no understanding of how that works on food prep? What is something typical? Maybe not show ready, but just a day. What does a day of your your food intake look like?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess like you said, to start as far as preparation, right. You got to go get your groceries. Right. So I do have dedicated time or days where it's like, all right, Saturday is my grocery shopping day, and I'm either going to take an hour on Saturday night or an hour sometime Sunday to cook all my food. Right. I might cook the food for the whole week because I'll buy more in bulk. I don't do a lot of variety. I like to eat the same foods every day. One, for simplicity. Like, I don't want to have to think about making different meals. If I'm eating ground turkey and chicken, then I know how much ground turkey I need. I know the serving sizes. I know what my body's going to do. I know how I'm going to react to that food. Right. You start mixing and matching stuff. You don't always know, like, oh, I feel bloated today. Well, why are you bloated? Right. It's like, well, I've been eating the same stuff, so maybe I need to just drink more water. So there's certain reasons that I'll keep the food similar, but, I'll wake up. I usually cook my breakfast every morning because I'm home. Right. The meals that I prep are my lunches, so I'll have the lunches. Right now I drive around a lot for work. Right. So I just bring 2 meals with me in my car and my snack. Right. That way I have it if I need it. Right. And then I'm just eating every couple hours throughout the day. Right. Go to the gym, come home, and I cook my dinner. Sounds simple, but it's because I've been doing it for so long, and it's already prepared for me. So that's the ease of that.
Right. And what it seems like is that you're paying attention to to any outliers quick by streamlining it. So you know exactly what you're eating. If something's off, you can catch it early, and that takes all the questioning out. You can find the problem, nip it in the bud, try something different, and then get back on track.
Exactly.
So by having that same routine, it's over and over, then you're able to basically stay on track, stay healthy with it. I feel like, I mean, I would tell you straightforward, my problem is when Friday rolls around or Saturday rolls around, if I let off the gas, then, I'm trying to clean my body out by Sunday, Monday to get back into a rhythm again.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Sure.
So, I mean, hopefully I'm not just speaking for myself.
Right.
So I don't feel so bad, but, that definitely is the concept there. So that's, taking in, do you count like what you drink on water? Like, are you strictly drink water? How does that work? Because I could imagine what it seems like from your pictures. It's like you count the peas even, and you know what's in it, and everything that you put into your body.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not really counting water, but I'm just aware of the water. I'm drinking, at least a gallon, but most of the time it's closer to a gallon and a half, 2 gallons,
Right.
especially as I get closer to the actual show date.
Right.
Drinking closer to 2 gallons of water for that
crazy.
last week
Yeah.
each day. But yeah, I keep, again, everything's the same. I have the same water bottle that I use. I fill it up. I know that's, depending on which bottle I'm using, it's either 40 ounces or 20 ounces.
Right. Right.
I know how much a gallon is, so I either need to drink 3 full things of this or 6 of this. So
you know where you're at.
You know
where you're at.
Once you start doing it, it becomes repetitive, and that's when you don't have to think. And to me, that's extra stress and energy that I don't have to waste on something that's supposed to be simple.
Right. How long? I feel like a lot of people get caught up in creating the habit. Right. It sounds like just doing it over and over. How long was it for you, like, before you can catch a habit and really hold on to it?
It probably took me a full month. Like when I really first started getting into competing, getting into prep, because I wasn't used to making the food.
Right.
When I wasn't competing, even if I did cook, I would only really cook the one meal for myself.
Right.
And then I might eat out.
Right.
Stop and get a burger or a sandwich, try to be somewhat healthy, but it was fast food related. So now that I was cooking everything, I almost had to like reorganize how my whole refrigerator was.
Right.
What do I go shop for when I go to the store? How much of it do I need to get?
Right.
Because I would go get chicken or ground turkey or something else, and then I'm like, man, I don't have enough. I didn't buy enough.
Right.
And then I got to go back.
Right.
So it took a good month of doing that. And how many containers do I need? Like, what is this going to look like?
Right. How long
so
does it last?
It could be, about that time for me. But once I got in a rhythm, again, that's all right, cool. I know what I need to do now. I'm going to keep it the same. I have a system down.
What do you do to stick to it? I mean, you got 30 days to develop it. And now, I mean, let's just say you're in day 90 or something. And how do you just stay like, this is what I need to do? Like, what is your driving factor? Is it a why? Is it a, discipline? Where does that come from? Like, where do you really dig deep in order to do the same thing over and over? Because if that's the path, I mean, it sounds like life is simple. However, what keeps you intact to staying on the road?
Man, that's a good question, because it's definitely not motivation. I mean, I'd like to say like, oh yeah, I'm so motivated, but motivation's so fleeting. You're motivated 1 second and then it's gone the next.
Right.
I mean, it's more desire,
right,
I would say, and commitment. I mean, you really do have to like ask yourself what you really want.
Right.
If you want it, you're going to be committed to it, and from that commitment will come your consistency.
Right.
So for me, having a date and then getting a coach is what kept me accountable to myself.
Right. I'm committed.
When you're naturally an accountable person, that does help.
Right.
But it is harder to stay accountable to yourself because you can kind of slide a little bit.
Right.
But when somebody else knows, like, somebody else is going to be checking on you.
Right.
That helps you just stay on your P's and Q's.
Right.
Keep everything in line. But when you want to hit that goal and somebody else is helping you get there, it's just, you just do it.
This is weird, and I'm going out on a limb here because somebody asked me this when I was pursuing a career in rap. I was backstage with this dude, and he says, "What do you want?" And I tell him, I want this performance. I want to be with this group of people, and he tells me, "Why do you want that?" And it really stuck me in the heart because I really didn't know why. And so, kind of flipping it here, because maybe I didn't know and maybe you do, on, when you're looking down the road and you're committed and you set the date, um, why? Why do you want that? What is that pop? What shows up for you when you hear that?
Well, it's just the next step.
Okay.
So it's me being in line with what I feel like my passions are.
Okay.
I've always felt like whatever it is you're passionate about is a gift that God gave you.
Okay.
And that's something you should pursue.
Okay.
If you have a part-time job or a full-time job, 9 to 5 kind of thing, and that's your job, and you feel like that's something you're passionate about, then great. If it's a side hustle, great, still pursue that. But I do believe in at least pursuing your passion to some degree.
Right.
But for me, it was just so much. It was something that I never truly pursued 100%.
Right.
I was a 3-sport athlete. Like, that's almost all I've ever really known.
Right.
And I've always felt like that was going to be something that I would do somehow.
Right.
Pro athlete, whatever.
Right.
So me getting into competing gave me something to connect me back to my passion.
Right.
So
that's exciting.
That date was just like, hey, this is just what they do. Like you said, a date, you do a show. It's like, all right, like, you try to get as shredded as you can, and and you just work for it. But when you ask yourself like the why, it's for a greater purpose.
Right.
And I think for me now, I've learned the beauty of that is I don't know exactly what the end result is going to be.
Right.
But I know that if I'm pursuing something I love to do, it's always going to be with good intention.
Right.
And obviously you can find ways like, how can I make this something that I can do for a living, to make money and help people, because it is a gift. You need to use it.
Right.
And it's just letting God direct you. It's like, hey, God, I trust you. Like, I'm going to do these competitions because I feel like this is going to get me closer to where I can help more people.
Man, that's I'm hearing journey too, that it's in listening to you, and the answer to that is just part of the journey, enjoying the journey, and just being grateful for the ability to continue to compete in the process. So is it whatever the end goal is the end goal. However, is it all about the end goal? It's just a goal, it's a target, and also it's the pursuant of it, and it's the journey along the way that is what's important here. Man, I feel like that is powerful in itself, just being able to continue to connect back to what you felt like as a kid, or now looking into what you feel like there's an opportunity here to make money and do something that you're passionate about at the same time. What is that like? For me, it feels the same, to be honest. Like the fear of something big coming up and the excitement of something big coming up all brings the same thing. Like, how do you jump into that? Like, this is your cliff of life and fate, and you said trust in God, and it sounds like that's the foundational point of it. But what keeps you like from being nervous, or like, do you get nervous? Like, how does that feel? Because
I do still get nervous, because it's like, man, it's an unknown for sure. I mean, I'm talking about leaving my career and job that I have now, which most people would say, like, dude, like, it's so hard to get into that industry, or you must have known somebody, whatever. If I was more settled, maybe I'd consider like settling and whatever. But I feel like I have a plan myself. It's calculated. It's not like, I don't feel like I'm jumping off a cliff. And a lot of times when you listen to people and their success stories, it seems like they're jumping off a cliff, and it's like, bro, I don't jump off a cliff. So I think it'd be nice to maybe hear that you can be practical with your dreams and your goals, and you can set a plan in motion. Because I mean, it's not like this just happened overnight for me. I've been working, I got certified as a personal trainer again last year during 2020. But I started competing again back in 2018. So if you think about the conversation we've already had about me wanting to compete to try to get me closer to my purpose, this has been years of me trying to calculate and plan and be aware of what my lifestyle is like, so that I could line it up to be in this position. So you can start lining things up, do a little bit at a time, to get yourself in position. Like everything that I've done this year has been for what I'm going to do next year. And it's been a whole year plus
Right.
of me trying to put that together and make it fit.
Right.
You know?
And it's such a practical concept if you think about it. Like as you're building muscle or you're doing certain workouts, it's like they're all lining up for something bigger. Like if you want that goal, then these are the things you got to do now. And the same thing goes for, you know, if you're working on your body directly and you're trying to get to a certain, you know, width or look, the steps of this right now is lining up for that next. Like even to put up that next level of weight, like you got to be able to put this weight down first. So it's the concept of taking that. It almost sounds like 1 foot at a time. Just take one step at a time, line it up, have a vision, and then just keep pursuing at it, staying at it.
It really is. I mean, it's not sexy at all. It's like, oh, you've been doing the exact same thing for 2 years?
Yeah.
Great.
Right.
Sounds fun.
That's intense, man. That's intense. So talk about what it felt like, man. So I mean, just bring the people on that last, like the show that you did in November. Like what was that? What was that back? It was August. It was August.
That was November. The last one I did, that was the Natural Olympia. You know, that's the biggest show of the year. That's the one I was planning for.
Right.
You know, that's the one I wanted to do after I got my pro card last year. And it's surreal. It's crazy. You know, my goal when I was an amateur looking at the pros that were on stage, my goal was to just make the top 5 the following year. I'm like, man, if I could just get a coach, work hard, if I can make the top 5, I'm going to be happy because I know we're competing against some of the top pros, you know, in the world, not just in the country. There are over 15 countries represented there.
Right.
You know, so we got athletes from Argentina, Mexico, you know, all over.
Right.
So it's just awesome to represent your country in that kind of a setting on that type of stage with that caliber of natural athletes. I mean, these are Olympic level athletes for natural bodybuilding. So when you really put that into perspective, you know, it's kind of crazy. And, you know, I'm definitely thankful I could just be a part of that, just to be on that stage with those other athletes. It's pretty sweet, man.
The best of the best. What was it like being there, like show day? You know, you wake up and you're like, man,
it's exciting. Like, you know, you always get those nerves. You're nervous. You know, you're trying to get your body to peak the right way. You know, and you know, you're messing with different protocols. You know, I keep it pretty simple. My coach has me keeping things pretty simple, so I don't mess with too many, you know, different things to make sure I'm peaking right. But yeah, you just got to stay grounded and focused. I mean, for me, I felt good. It's one of those things where you really do have to just know that you did the best you could and that you brought your best physique. You know, everybody else is doing the same thing. And at that point, it's left to the judges to decide, you know, who the winner is going to be. So that's kind of a nice part about it too. You know, when you know you've already brought your best, it's kind of just done at that point. So you're like, all that's left is for me to go up there and present.
There's no regrets at that point. Like I've already done the work here.
Absolutely.
That's got to be comforting too. Like you've done all the preparation. You're ready in this moment, the best you're gonna be, you know, for this time, and just kind of letting go in that concept. What does it feel like standing on a stage with judges and people and lights and, you know, and you? I mean, part of just having your freaking clothes off in itself is like, you know, like what's the rawest form of being open and vulnerable?
Yeah, that was a process in itself, because I remember my very first show, like that was my big thing of maybe not even doing bodybuilding, because you know, I'm kind of an introvert, so it's like for me to go out and, I'm going to stand in front of hundreds of people basically in my underwear, you know, was just a little, you know, discomforting for me. But again, I'm trying to do things that do stretch me a little bit and get me outside my comfort zone. And, you know, I started gradually getting more comfortable on stage. And really that's part of being a pro, is your stage presence, how you present, your comfortability. And over time, you just get better at that and more comfortable. You know, I feel like my very first show, I almost like zoned out to where I couldn't see the faces in the crowd. But now I actually look for the faces in the crowd, because that gives me something to focus on.
Like
I'll actually make eye contact, or see where my coach is
Right.
at, see if I can find them, things like that, see where my friends are in the stand. So I'll actually look for people now.
Right. Like targets.
So it's
Almost
like definitely
target,
getting more comfortable.
Right.
And then because you're just having fun at that point.
Right.
It's like, hey, look what I've done.
Right.
Look where I'm at.
Right.
I'm here, and being proud of that, and letting people see that.
Right. That's got to be a beautiful feeling. That's like in a place of like owning what you're doing. Like,
Right.
I'm here, not afraid to I'm not blocking you out.
Yeah.
I'll stare you in the eyes if we need to,
Right.
and be okay with it. What is it? I mean, gosh, on the flip side of that, like, what does it feel like? Do you ever get any like negative feedback from people or something like that? Like, what if you look at the wrong person in the eyes? Like, have you ever, like, what's your internal dialogue going on? Like, because you talk about the stage presence, it's got to come with the level of confidence and just staying on your peak or on your high, with that. And, what do you do to deflect when you do see something that might be not aligned with where your vision's at in the moment?
It's just knowing.
Uh-huh.
I think, it could come from stuff off the stage and what your perception of things are and just what your mentality is already. I can only control me and what I do.
Right.
Which means I can control my reaction to people as well.
It's fire.
So I honestly don't care. Like, I do care, but I don't care.
Right.
If you make a face, I don't know if you're making that face at me.
Right.
I just happen to look at you at that time.
Right.
So to me, it's whatever.
Right.
I'm just here doing my thing. Again, if my intentions are pure and I'm doing the right thing, I know I really have nothing to worry about.
Right.
It could have just been how somebody else perceived what I was doing. If I posed a certain way and they didn't like it, or maybe they were just looking at somebody else, or maybe they were mad that they missed me before they got to see me do the pose, or whatever it is. Feedback, you're not really going to get more of that until you're talking to the judges after you get off the stage and finding out, like, hey, why'd you place me here, or what could I do better? And I'm still going to the judges, and I won, but I still want to know what I can do to be better, because
you don't know who's coming or what next year looks like.
The best of the best out there, and sometimes, I know I'm not perfect. Like, I knew there were things I could work on going in, but I knew I got twice as good as I was last year.
Right.
So again, it's just that knowing.
You're up. Yeah.
And continuing to get better at stuff. So
that's a powerful accolade, man. That experience in itself, like, some people will, hopefully with this and seeing your life and the way you're driving after it, like, more people continue to chase their dreams and go experience what it feels like to be on a stage or to be in a movie or to whatever it is they're passionate about, and just take chips at it every single day. That's powerful, especially when it comes to your mindset, man. Just knowing and having that compassion on a person, just like they could have had a thought go on in their mind that caused them to roll their eyes at a moment where had nothing to do with you at the same time, just knowing that, like, hope that dude's all right, or something like that, and moving on, like, and that's it, man. It's super. It's a great feeling to be around your energy and the positivity that you bring, to the world in itself, and you, in my eyes, you're either helping a person or you're hurting a person, and everything that you're doing so far is just encouraging or helping in some way, shape, or form. So with personal training, what is your goal down the road as far as just making money, obviously, and making a living out of it, but at the same time, contributing to the world?
Yeah. My initial goal is 100 people. I started doing online training, obviously, because it's on the side of my job, earlier this year in April, and I've been doing that since. And I'll be looking to kick that more into full gear coming to the beginning of the year. So my goal is to help 100 clients. Like, that's my initial goal. Get that first 100, and then really just grow that. I've already been talking to a friend of mine about him coming on and to help me with either, like, kind of the sales side of things or the marketing side of things, because I do want to grow that and be able to bring on other trainers or even other employees to help me with different aspects of the process so that we can reach out to more people, not just for face-to-face stuff, but help them all over the world with their goals regarding nutrition and fitness. If they want to compete, I have that experience, so I can help them get ready for shows, things like that. But that's my initial goal. As far as numbers, I will be leaving my job. I haven't told my job that yet.
You tell me when I can put this episode out here.
I know, right? It's like, it'd be the Christmas special, but we'll wait.
Yeah, for sure.
But again, that's been my plan the whole year. Like I remodeled my house earlier this year for the purpose of doing a refinance. I'm renting it out right now.
Good deal.
So that I can have things in position to where I don't feel like it's all or nothing.
Right.
But that's still my attitude. It's like, hey, I'm giving it 100% for once in my life.
Right.
And I'm just going for it. Because I don't, what's the worst that can happen, right? It's you go back to where you were. If you don't burn bridges and do things, it's like, you have opportunity to go back. If I need to get a job somewhere, I'm pretty sure I can get a job somewhere.
Anywhere.
So why not go for it? I've been in positions in my life where I've almost lost it all. So that fear of losing things isn't there anymore because I know God will take care of me.
Right.
I've almost foreclosed on my house twice. I've been starving in my house. Like I've had to take cold showers. Like I've been through all that. So to me, with it being my choice, it's like, yeah, I'm going to leave my house here and have somebody else rent it. Yeah, I'm going to leave my job. Like, I'm okay with losing those things that might be comforts for other people.
I think that's a perspective too, right? Like, is it losing or is it releasing, right? Like, it's just unwanted weight, at the time. And if the weight's not serving your goal or your body or your physique down the road, then be okay with it. It's not so much of a loss because if you lose it, you're bound to re-find it, So there could be a point where this is it, man, and you're releasing it, and it's your next chapter is out there waiting on you.
That's a great perspective. It's not a loss, it's a release.
Right.
So yeah, for sure.
For sure. That's heavy duty stuff, man. I'm in love with this concept of just having you here and having your inspiration, man, and just sharing that with my audience and my viewers. And that's one thing that I want to continue to do with the Always All In podcast. If you did not hear enough that Derek Joe is all in on everything that he's doing, man, it is, it's just aligning what you're doing with your bigger vision, your purpose, and just keep pivoting, keep making those right adjustments. And I'm just peeling back everything I've heard so far is keep making those adjustments, keep pursuing the journey, keep pursuing your passion, and don't give up. If it gets boring, just stay back in it. Stay, readjust, recommit, set your intention. Every day is a new day, and we get an opportunity to recommit to what we committed to. And if yesterday didn't work out, then today's a new day, and be okay. That if yesterday didn't work out, it's like seeing the judge, getting your feedback, and then making improvements. That's all it is.
Absolutely.
Man.
That's it.
Yeah, Derek Joe, where can they find you? How can people support you? How can people, if they need fitness advice and they just want to start getting on the right path and getting healthier, what's the best way to contact you?
Yeah, social media for sure. I'm on Instagram more than I'm on Facebook, but you can always message me on either. My Facebook's Derek Lamar Joe. Instagram is at djoe.hype. Hype is my personal brand, so you'll be seeing more of that coming into alignment with my training and other things I do. So yeah, hit me up, shoot me a message on Instagram or Facebook. Even if you just have questions, start asking questions, get those answers, and we can help you reach whatever goal you want to hit.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, Derek Joe.